1.5.4. Deploying to the Mule standalone server. Confident that your application is in good shape thanks to your testing, you're now ready to deploy. Before that, however, you need a running Mule server. You can download the Mule standalone server from www.mulesoft.org web link. You'll want to download the Mule ESP standalone runtime, without Mule Studio. Uncompress the file, navigate into the bin directory, and run the Mule executable to start a standalone instance of the Mule server. Now you'll use Mule Studio to build your deployment artifact. First you need to export the application as a Mule deployable archive. You can do this by right-clicking on the project, selecting Export, selecting Mule Studio Project to Mule Deployable Archive, include studio metadata, and then setting the path to where you want the zip file, Mule's deployment artifact, saved. This is illustrated in figures 1.19, 1.20, and 1.21. Figure 1.19. Choose to export the application. Figure 1.20. Choose the format to export to. Figure 1.21. Choose where to save the resulting zip file. Now that you've exported the Mule application as a zip file, you can deploy it. 1. This is accomplished by copying the zip file to the apps directory of wherever you installed the Mule standalone server. After a few seconds, you should see something like the following appear on the console on which Mule is running. 1. We'll discuss Mule deployment options in detail in Chapter 8. Info December 19, 2011 10:01:07,741, mule.app.deployer.monitor.1.thread.1. org.mule.module.launcher.deployment service. Plus started app product service 1.0 snapshot plus. That's it. You've developed a functional, well-tested, integration application with around 20 lines of XML and a small amount of Java. Hopefully you can appreciate the relative difficulty of implementing a similar approach without Mule. You would need to do the following. Bootstrap a web server to accept HTTP requests. Configure and manage the JMS connection factories, sessions, and so on. Figure out a way to functionally test the application. Decide how to package and deploy the application. That's a lot of time being wasted writing code that isn't solving your goal, bridging an HTTP request to JMS. Throughout this book, you'll see numerous examples of how Mule simplifies and speeds up common integration tasks. 1.6. Summary. By this point you've received a primer on enterprise integration, learned about the philosophy and features of Mule 3, and written, tested, and deployed a working Mule app. We're now ready to formally begin our discussion of Mule. Next, we'll discuss processing messages with Mule.